Ken Surfs here with another video. It's not going to be a shave video today. I'm actually going to catch up on some of the comments that people have been leaving me. And the main comment is, can we get another tour of the updated shave den? So yes, I will give you an updated tour of the shave den. I'll take the camera down and I'll show you what I've got in here. And there was one more comment that I can address before I give you the tour, and it's what's with all the James Bond stuff? Well, I think I probably mentioned I came from England when I was actually almost 8 years old, in the end of 1969. And when we first got here, my dad, who was my inspiration for wet shaving, you know, later on, when we got here, was not too happy. I mean, he moved, he left his job, he left his house, he left his friends, left his family, he left everybody to come here to the United States. And he was, you know, at times he was pretty upset and pretty depressed. He loved to drink. Well, one thing that brought him back and reminded him of England was when a James Bond movie came out. So I remember it was 1971, and God, I must have been about almost 10 then, 9. And he took me to a triple feature at a drive-in, if any of you remember what a drive-in movie was. And it was Diamonds Are Forever, Thunderball, and You Only Live Twice. And the show started at dusk, which was about 8 o'clock, as I remember, and it went on till about 1 a.m. in the morning. And I was driving up with him in his piece of crap Buick station wagon that broke down 4 miles from my house. And we had to walk at 1 a.m. From near the drive-in all the way back to our crappy little apartment in Huntington Beach. And just seeing those movies brings back memories. So every year or every 2 years when a new James Bond movie came out, he would take me to the movies, just remembering that. And that caused my addiction to wanting to see James Bond movies. And when I wasn't watching them with him, I was watching them with my friends. And seems like every 2 years since then, I've been enjoying them when they come out. So that's why I have the fascination with a lot of the James Bond stuff. So let me take off the camera and I'll give you a tour of some of the updated stuff in here. It was kind of getting crowded, so my wife actually got me some nice storage shelves for some of my stuff. And oh, another question is, they're saying you've got all this stuff that is kind of expensive. That's not cheaper than cartridge razors. Now, if you only have one razor, one brush, same soap that you like to use, and you buy those blades, I mean, those Wilkinson sword blades, I hear Paul H. From Paul H. Films gets 10 shaves from one blade, and you can get 100 blades for $8. So say you get 5 shaves out of a blade, you get 500 shaves for $8. So that's like a year and a half for $8, and they're good shaves. So you don't have to go nuts like this, but if I was doing videos of the same brush and the same shave, or the razor, and the same blade every day, or every time, you wouldn't be watching. So I like to try new stuff. So it is a hobby and an addiction. And a lot of us have that same hobby and that same addiction. So anyway, let's drop this camera and I'll show you what we've got here. Right, you always see me from the reverse angle of that, but I have a suction cup mount that I mount the 6, or well, you can see it's a iPhone 6 on, and that's right above the sink. And over the sink, we have some cool displays. Whoops, got a little dust there. We've got some of my razors that I use and like to display. Nice gent in England sent me some cool Newcastle stuff, and I've got that on display. And I do have a straight razor on display, and they asked me, when are you going to use that? And I'm not quite there yet. But they asked what razor it is, and I guess it's a Von Cleef and Company. And it's from Von Cleef. On Clef. Anyway, it's made in Germany, and it's the Diamondyne. Where are we? The Diamondyne 10-7. But I've had that for years, and I have it on display, and I really enjoy it. And one day I'll use it, but just not now. So then I have the medicine chest over here off the left, where I keep a lot of the aftershaves in. An addiction for sure. I've got a lot of the, I'll call it the higher end stuff down here. I've got the Eternity, the Obsession, the, what is it, Dolce & Gabbana, the Floyds, the Polo, but keep a lot of the aftershaves in there. Then as I spin around, there's my pop right there, my inspiration for wet shaving, and that picture was taken just after, or just before he was about to do a shave in the kitchen sink back in my old house just up the street. We have the Moonraker press book. We have a lobby card from Diamonds Are Forever. We have the Spectre poster. And then here's the door into the bathroom. And we have nice wooden floors in case I make a mess. And here we have the shelves with some of my brushes and some of the vintage colognes there. And you probably recognize that. See, what's good about the Shaved In is my wife lets me put a lot of my movie memorabilia in here that I had to take down years ago, and they've just been in storage. So in the bathroom here, or the Shaved In, she doesn't really care that much. So that's why I have a lot of these cool autograph stuff back up. We've got James Gardner from the Rockford Files. My latest acquisition was an autographed Sean Connery, and I believe that's from Never Say Never Again. And the Lone Wolf McQuaid, I got autographed back at the premiere when I won a contest, a radio contest. We've got an Octopussy press kit, another press release for Never Say Never Again. And here we have the Moonraker poster, one of my favorite Roger Moore movies. A little corny, but I did see it dozens of times. It was around the time of Star Wars, so it was really a good movie. A lot of memories from the old days. Then I have a little shelf with some of my razors that I have in cases. This was my grandfather's vintage hairbrushes, and I do use those. I've got my Barbicide right there. And then this, well, completing it, there's GoldenEye, Pierce Brosnan, and then the shower. But here is a new shelf, or a new rack that my wife picked up for me, and it really allows me to put a lot of my stuff in storage. So in some of the drawers here, I have some of the vintage razors and modern ones that I use. I have, I'm not going to run out of blades very soon. Oh, and that 7 o'clock blade right there. Somebody had asked how the 7 o'clocks compare to the Wilkinson sword, and I have not tried that. So in probably the next video, I'll compare that 7 o'clock and see how I like it. I got a drawer for the soaps, some of the soaps back there. More soaps. See, can't have just one, right? Soaps and some more vintage razors. Razors that I haven't, well, the Boker I've tried, but those Rolls razors, I have not tried them yet. They're almost like a straight razor with a handle. So I will try those one of these days. Some more of the vintage. And I knew that would happen. I would pull it off the rack. There we go. Some more creams, travel kit, just cups, some more blades. I do like those crystal blades, one of my favorites also, and again just some storage. So that is a tour of the Shaved In, and I do have my drying rack for when I'm done with the brush. I will put it there. So that doesn't bore you so much, and you've got a kind of a tour and a little bit of background on the Shaved In and some of the items in it. So I do try to get to those comments, and I do try to answer the questions. So if I haven't, please don't feel that I'm ignoring you. It's there's a lot of them, which is kind of cool, and I appreciate you watching. So until next time, that was a tour of the Shaved In. You have a great night, and Ken Surfs saying good night.